What's going on, people? You know who it is. It's your favorite cousin here from BNT TV with a dope episode for you today. I have someone special that's going to share her story with us. And before we get started, I want to do the fire intro I made. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can see my skills is getting stepped up a little bit. You know what I mean? So I want to set it off like this. Some stories aren't meant to entertain you. They're meant to wake you up. Tonight's episode is about survival and the kind that doesn't just happen in the streets, but right inside the home.
Yeah.
Our guest, Janiqua, grew up in chaos, violence, and pain most people probably couldn't even imagine. But somehow she has turned all that darkness into purpose. She went from being silenced to being a voice for others. You know what I'm saying? So that's a round of applause for that.
Thank you so much.
Watching this, please understand this isn't for pity, it's for perspective. And it's for every person who has ever had to look in the mirror and ask, am I still worthy of love after everything I've been through? So this is her truth. This is her survival. You know what I mean? So everybody, I want to introduce y'all to Janiqua. Please introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are.
Hello, I'm Janiqua. I am a child abuse advocate, children's book author, and I like to help children as a youth mentor as well, serve children as a youth mentor. As he has previously spoken, I am a survivor of child abuse, but also a survivor of domestic violence and several other things as well. But I work with children because I was once that child that was abused and neglected, and adults knew and witnessed it, and they pretended not to see it because I guess that was the easy thing for them to do. And I know how that feels. And I'll be damned if I let that happen to another child in front of me. So,
Dope, dope, man. So I definitely want to get started here. You definitely share some things that most people couldn't even imagine surviving. At what point did you realize that what you were living through wasn't normal? Like the
man.
abuse, and how did that awareness change the way you saw yourself or your family?
So I had suppressed it, you know what I'm saying? Because I played sports. My siblings played sports. And so we were popular in high school. So it went from, I don't want nobody to know about this because, it's like a stigma attached to abuse. You're weird. Your family's weird. Sometimes I deal with it in the comments. They saying you just as sick as them, whatever. So I suppressed it in my teenage years. And it's like I got to my early 20s, I started searching for myself. It's still suppressed now, but I'm searching for myself because I'm realizing, okay, if I get this, I'll be happy. If I get this, I'll be happy. And I was getting those things and I still felt empty. So I'm like, what's going on? I entered into an abusive relationship. At this time, I'm 22. I leave the abusive relationship at 24. I moved back in with my family. So I moved out when I got into that relationship. He changed. He started beating on me. He knew I came from a family that wasn't the most caring, loving, supportive family. So he used that to his advantage. He know that it was hard. I didn't leave because I didn't have support to go back to. But nonetheless, I said, I got to get out of here. So I moved back in with my family, and that's when stuff started clicking with me. It's like, why are y'all not happy that I left this abusive relationship? Then I started asking myself, why did I end up in that abusive relationship? And I started to remember things from my childhood. And then that's when I started to witness my niece's abuse. So all of this stuff is happening at the same time. I'm doing some self-reflection. I'm trying to learn from my mistakes because at the end of the day, I chose this person and I stayed with this person after they shown me abusive signs and after they began to abuse me. And so that's when I started to realize, oh, I was beat on as a child. I watched my father beat on my mother as a child. And then I'm witnessing it happen all over again to my niece.
Wow.
She's getting treated. And then I was the darkest growing up. A lot of people see me, they don't think I'm that dark. I was darker as a child, and my family was lighter when we was children. I was the darkest child. My niece is also the darkest grandchild.
Mm.
And so that's what woke it up. And so I looked at them like they were some damn demons. That's really what I feel. I feel like y'all demonic as hell because I was fighting mentally too. Because when I left my abusive relationship, I had to start all over.
Yeah.
Now the apartment was in his name, you know what I'm saying? But I was paying bills. I invested into a place that really wasn't mine. So I'm moving back in with my parents' house, my mother's house, with my siblings that were abusing me. I had to sleep on the floor. with roaches, where upstairs it was more fancy without roaches and beds and stuff. And it just woke me up. These niggas really don't like me.
Mm.
Nobody said I'm proud of you for leaving that relationship. You know what they told me?
What to tell you?
You pregnant by him. You must be pregnant by him. I'm like, I was on birth control the whole time I was with him. I was using protection. Why would I be why would y'all say I'm pregnant by him? Why not say I'm happy for you? We saw you coming around us with bruises. I had carpet burn on my neck. The picture on my Instagram, that's from him choking me.
Wow.
That so you could see his handprint from choking me. That's a picture that I had. They didn't say we happy. Oh my God, you could have died. Them niggas was upset because I was breaking a curse. My mother was in an abusive relationship, and
Hmm.
I said, "Nah, let me leave before I get pregnant." And
Yeah.
they knew that I didn't want children at that age, especially by him.
Hmm.
And so they said, "You pregnant?" I took the pregnancy test. It was negative. They said, "Take another one." I took another one. It was negative. They started getting mad. Weird as hell.
That's
And
definitely weird. So like when you got out of that situation,
right. So that's when I started to realize, like, oh, these are still the same. They because they didn't change
yeah.
as I'm an adult. It reminded me of how they treated me as a child, and because of how they was treating my niece.
See, that's what I was going to ask you. Like when you moved back in, were you expecting anything to be different, or did you hope that was that just something you had to do just to get away from one situation before it got
That's
worse?
something I had to do to get away from one situation. That's called just
Okay.
being stuck between a rock and a hard place,
Yeah.
and the hard place is softer than a rock, but it's still a rock. And I expect things to be different? No, but I didn't have so it's something called Stockholm syndrome that a lot of people don't know. It's very, very real. You
Yes.
forget that you're a victim. You start accepting abuse. It becomes normal, and you start to love your abuser. You start to make excuses for him. You start to overlook it. And so that's why women or men, because men can be abused too, are in abusive relationships. They don't leave immediately, or they leave and go back and forth because it's called Stockholm syndrome. Abuse doesn't work. Oh, you abuse me, I'll leave immediately and never come back. That's rare. Abuse rarely goes that way. You get a lot of victims go back and forth before they finally leave. I was suffering from Stockholm syndrome. Keep in mind, these are the people that I've known my whole life.
Yeah.
I still love them. I don't hate them. I
Hmm.
hate the shit that they do, and I'm gonna call them out for the shit that they do. But
Definitely.
I don't hate them. It's hard to hate somebody. I'm 27 years old.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is my whole life. This is
Well,
all I've known.
family,
So
your parents and your siblings and everything. So I can
yeah.
imagine, leaving from that, going somewhere else, like, oh wow, okay, this happened too, but I have to get away from this, and I may have to endure this a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
I can only imagine the mental, you know what I'm saying, the mental
And
space.
so what I would do is I would just like I would pray a lot. It's this guy named Eric, the hip hop preacher. I would put on a lot of his motivation stuff to get me pumped up to be like, okay, I had to tell myself every day, this is temporary. I used to write little notes. This is temporary. They didn't like that shit. They was watching me heal myself, equip myself in front of them to get the fuck up out of there. Misery loves company. Even though I was in a broken situation, I had refused to be broken. I did whatever I could. I got two jobs. I was working 12 hours. I started working out, doing yoga, and just practicing meditation, clearing my mind. I did whatever I could in a tight situation to survive.
That makes sense, yo. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was like your escape away from.
Yeah.
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 And I also want to touch on something you said. You said there came a day where you started to like everything clicked and maybe started fighting back mentally.
Hmm.
What was that moment like? And what was it that broke you inside or maybe woke you up to make, make this a choice to say, I'm gonna save myself and get out of this
Mm.
situation.
Anger. I was very angry. I'm still a little angry. I wasn't sad, I was angry. I wanted to fight all their asses. But I did it, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I felt. I was very angry. And I just when I realized they weren't happy for me when I left this dude who was trying to kill me. That's what made me ask a lot of questions. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Like,
I
what?
realized they was, and then as I'm trying to build myself up, I'm sleeping on the floor. I'm sleeping on an air mattress with a hole in a room with roaches,
Yeah.
and I'm working. And so what happened? Let me tell you. So I'm sleeping downstairs. I'm sleeping in what would be considered the den. You black, you know what the den is. It's
I
not the living
definitely know
room.
what
It's
the
the other
band
room.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's for the
So
kids.
it got two openings. It
Mhm.
didn't have a door, so I had no privacy. I'm a young lady. I don't have no privacy.
Wide
And you
open.
know how you got the kitchen, they got a window above the sink.
Hmm.
The window above the sink went into the den. So everything that happened in the kitchen, I heard. The den didn't have a door. So everything that happened in the living room, I heard. They know I'm working 12 hours. They know I'm trying to get my apartment. They know I just left an abusive relationship. They know I'm trying to get my life together. They were coming there at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, slamming shit down, just trying to make it even harder for me.
Mm.
So these are people that knew I was going through a hard time and made sure it was harder because they didn't want me to climb. It's like crabs in a bucket. I'm from a small port town in Mississippi. What a lot of people don't admit, a lot of people have children and did not want those children, do not want those children. And they envy people who don't have children because they feel they have more freedom. I don't have biological children. So when I leave that abusive relationship, I'm like, okay, I gotta go get it. I gotta stack my shit and get on with my life
Yeah.
because I played backseat to somebody that was beating on me. I lost the touch with I lost my self identity. I lost my sense of purpose. I lost the things that made me who I am. So when I left him, I said, okay, now it's my time. Now it's time for me to thrive. And so as I'm climbing, they're trying to make it hard for me. They're envious. They like, oh, so she not broken. She not sad that she living with us. She not sad that she got to go back to her mama house.
Yeah. So
That nobody said I'm proud of you. I'm happy to see what you're doing. I'm happy. Like we knew how hard that was for you to leave that situation. We knew how much you love that man. We knew how he treated on you. We saw all that. Nobody supported me. They made it harder. They
mm,
tried to break me. They was trying to break me because they're like, oh, this didn't break you, so we gonna try to break you. And I just was angry. I'm like, y'all weird as fuck. I just kept saying y'all weird as fuck. And then so like I would clean up. They'll dirty it right back up. I would clean up the whole downstairs. They would dirty it up. It was like that's why I said in that video, it's 15 minutes. It's layers to this shit. I
mm,
will open up all the windows so it could be sunny, clean in there. They will close the blind. That's why I call them some
uh,
fucking demons. Who the fuck want to sit inside a dirty ass house in the dark? You a demon. You're miserable.
very
I would
depressing.
play gospel music. They hated that shit.
Okay. So you think that because that's where it started at and you ended up back there, do you think they purposely made it harder for you think they're trying to break you or just trying to get you out of the house again? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they was trying to get me out the house. I think that because I was in a fucked up situation and my attitude wasn't fucked up, like misery, like company, they wanted to see me struggle. Financially, I was struggling. In my relationship, I was struggling, but I still was like this. I still had this strong deposition. I
Oh,
still could laugh. I still would go outside and sing shit. Even though my life and people don't like that. When you're struggling and they know you struggling and you still got the audacity to still have your joy, they
yeah.
want to break. It's something
Coming out here all
inside of
happy and
you.
stuff. What you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah. Like what the fuck? I got more money than you. Why you happier than me? I got the house. You don't. You live with me. Let me remind you that I got all the control. And the shit still don't work because it's inside. It's not what you have. It's inside. They was trying to break something inside of me. But because I have a relationship with God that can never be broken. Because that's where I get my strength from.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Hey, I definitely understand you on that one. And I wanna proceed also here because I know when I was reading your story that you put on Facebook,
That gets deep too. Yeah.
you found an escape in writing,
Yeah.
poems, plays. How did that become your survival method, if you want to say, and what does it
uh
what does that same pen mean to you now as a grown woman and a healer?
it's crazy because it's the same. So like when I was a kid, I used to talk to myself because
Mhm.
them niggas, my siblings and my mom used to say this. Now she probably don't say this now because I'm exposing her a little bit.
Mhm.
But she used to say that she used to struggle to get me Christmas presents because I was so advanced. So I used to talk to myself. I observe. I talk a lot, but I observe. I observe while I'm talking. And so as a child, I used to observe the world and talk about the issues in the world. I was 6 or 7 years old interviewing my damn self. I'm dead ass serious. My family, they used to be like, "What is Janiqua doing?" Oh, she talking to herself. I used to just talk to myself.
Hmm.
And so I used to be over there talking about global warming and shit at 6, 7 years old, poverty, abuse. And I observed a lot of stuff that my siblings and my mom used to do. So I used to talk to myself. I discovered writing at 6, 7 years old when I had a pencil. And I used to just so what I do is, and that I do this as an adult. When my reality is fucked up, I create my own reality in my head and I write it out on paper. So that's when I was doing it at 6, 7 years old. I would write stories about how I wish my life would be, and I would give the character another name and give her the life that I wish I had. So at 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, I'm writing about sex. I'm writing about relationships. I'm writing about abuse. I'm writing about all type of shit, crushes, all type of stuff. And when I used to read Junior B. Jones, I used to read Junior B. Jones a lot. And I'm like, damn, this is cool. I could do this shit. And so that's what I would do. And so now it's really the same. It's real time. I used to, but see, I
Well, I'm
started
actually
playing
curious
sports.
too.
Huh?
At six, what were you writing about sex at six?
It's girls getting raped.
Okay. And I wanted you to definitely explain that because I feel like anybody who's hearing this, they had the same thought, like, what? Sex? Let you
So
write.
I was exposed to sex at 4 years old by my parents. My parents, the earliest memory I can really remember of them is them having sex in front of me. And that's why I say, be careful how you treat kids. You don't know what they're going to remember. So
Mm,
that's my first memory of them. That's my earliest memory of them. And
yeah.
it scarred me because I'm like, what I remember standing there wondering it because I was a snack baby. So I was kind of, I always had my own way. I always been like this. So I would wake up was supposed to at 3, 4, 5 months, kept my ass in the kitchen.
Hmm.
So this time I'm going in the kitchen to give me some honey buns or something. You got to stop between the living room to get to the kitchen. They in there getting it in on the couch.
Them
And
down.
I'm like, what the fuck? First of all, y'all niggas supposed to be here. I'm trying to go get a honey bun. They look at me and then they look at each other and then they keep going.
Oh wow.
And then so I was exposed to porn
Mhm.
from because I used to sleep in the bed with my parents and they used to watch movies. Well, back then, if you watch the movies at night, by the time 2 or 3 in the morning come on, that
Mhm.
same station, porn finna come on. I
And
got exposed to porn.
watching
Then
it.
I got exposed to
Yep.
porn again from my siblings. So that's why I was exposed to a lot at a young age.
Got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for those of there who watch who of age, y'all know what show she talking about. The ones you had the pause
Cinemax.
button, yeah. You press
Cinemax
the
is
button
one
when
I
your
think I
parents
can
start walking
remember.
through and you looking, yeah, y'all remember. Yeah, okay. They know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of us were exposed to things like that at that age and may not have understood what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Or don't want to admit it now, like you
Yeah.
forget, like yeah. And it's
For the
sad. It's
parents,
really messed up though.
and for the parents too. I don't think my kids was four, but when they were younger, you may look, oh shoot, I don't know what's going on, and it's like you just don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
Parents out there, if y'all you freaking in front of the kids, man, please stop. That's a
Yeah,
little
you have some respect for yourself and your child's innocence.
definitely, definitely. And
Yeah.
so I want to switch gears and kind of go back to what we've been talking about here.
Okay.
Yeah, some of your pain, wasn't just from the outsiders, but also from the people who are supposed to love you.
Hmm.
Say now, you know. You still love them, but have you ever been able to find any closure? And if you haven't, how do you like create peace within yourself without it?
You cannot find closure with narcissists. Number
Hey,
one.
okay.
Number two, closure can be just a closure sometimes can be bullshit. You find a closure within yourself. You
Hmm.
find a closure in knowing you will never get that apology. They will never hold themselves accountable. I've had plenty. I have a text message where I've texted my mom a long paragraph and all the hell she said I could do is pray for you. No, and I think she said I'm sorry for any hurt, but I feel like that's bullshit. That's not acknowledgement. It's not acknowledgement. I
Yeah.
think she has some guilt. I think my father has some guilt. But what do you do with that guilt? You guilt trip other people because you are guilty. So closure, no. The saddest part, and a lot of people never understand this. I love my parents more than they ever loved me. That's the truth. I used to write love letters to my parents. I used to always seek. That's why I grew up as a people pleaser because I'm seeking validation from people that would never give me that.
Mm.
I was very affectionate. I told my parents I love you first. I got them to say I love you. I was affectionate towards them. You know what I'm saying? I saw them because when people don't understand the root of narcissism is deep insecurity. That's what causes a person to be narcissistic. You cannot stand other people being happy around you or being blessed around you because you are so insecure about yourself that you feel the need to control any and everyone around you
Wow.
because you don't like yourself. So my parents, they're extremely insecure. My
Mm.
mother, she had six kids by five different men. My father, he's just deeply insecure. I believe both of them was abused and they didn't deal with it. And so they held on to it and they didn't treat it. So they got worse over time.
Mm.
I believe both of them, they're extremely, and that's how they met. And that's why they clashed. My dad beat on my mom, but my mom, she would fight back and she would do fucked up shit too. And she did fucked up shit to other people. And so I just feel that they allow their insecurities, and a lot of people don't talk about this too. Parents can be jealous of their children. You know how you got that friend that
Yeah,
hate on you,
it
like
definitely.
they were right. People don't talk about that a lot. It's sick, but it's real. You know what I'm
We
saying?
see
It's
it a
really
lot.
real.
Definitely, it's something that we see a lot within mothers and daughters. I
Yeah.
know, there's probably some cases with fathers and sons, but we don't see it as much. And do you think that there may have been a possibility that like your
I
mom?
think it was a certain. I don't think it was a possibility. I think the shit is true with both of them.
Hmm,
How they treated me, how they held me back on purpose. They didn't teach me about periods. They didn't teach me how to drive. I would beg these people to teach me.
yeah,
They held me back on purpose. Again, I'm from a small, poor town. It's a crabs in the bucket mindset. It's like, I want you to do good, but never better than me.
okay,
You should want your child to do better. It's
yeah,
parents out here. That's why my dad was jealous of me because he's insecure. And my dad cannot be happy with what my dad cannot hold on to a friend. If somebody know my dad watching this shit, they'd be like, damn, she preaching. He cannot hold on to a friend. He gets, I have a story. I'm not gonna say his name. I have a cousin that lost his mother at a young age. My dad told him, this how sick this shit gets. My dad told him, I don't know why you crying. Or he basically was like, I'm more hurt than you because that was my sister. I get that that was your mother. He compete with any fucking thing. The nigga would compete about grief. I'm more hurt than you. It's some fucked up shit. I got some fucked up parents.
that's that.
Trying to tell you. And so
How did they
closure,
treat
no.
your other siblings though? Like,
So
did they treat them any better, or did they catch the same type of?
my mama, see, that's the thing. My mom abused all of us. I'm the only one that's bold enough to confront her and tell her, you're not finna do this shit with me or my children or my nieces. What they do is talk shit about my mom, but they don't say shit to her.
Mm,
And they don't say enough to stop her. So a lot of stuff that I'm saying, they've already said about my mom. But because now it's out in the public, it's like, oh, she crazy, she lying. All the shit that I'm saying, I was telling they ass before we hit the internet. I
wow.
just had enough in 2023. I'm tired. And I first of all, I'm not gonna hold on nobody's secrets. This y'all shit. Y'all should maybe if y'all dealt with it when I brought it to you, I kept bringing it to you,
Mhm.
it would have never even got this far. But y'all refuse to be honest. Y'all refuse to take action. Y'all refuse to hold yourselves accountable. Now I don't give a fuck. Stop treating people in a fucked up way. Maybe you won't have to worry about your business being blasted all over the internet.
Yeah, you push people too far, man. You can't control what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I gave them the opportunity to give me that peace. This is my peace now. I'm letting it out. You know what I'm saying? But my mom, she was abusive to all of her children. All of them. All of them.
I guess my next question would be like, and we're gonna bypass the closure, but let's talk about like forgiveness. Like, what does that mean to you? Do you?
Forgiveness to me is me not going to beat their ass.
All right, moving on.
No, seriously, though, I do believe you're supposed to forgive, but for you, like, if I see them, I wouldn't get mad. But
Mhm.
you ain't finna stop. Like I said, this is more so, and see, this is the thing. This is how I know if I be coming from a bitter space. I ain't said their names. I ain't posted their faces. I ain't gave out their addresses. I ain't gave out their numbers. Because it's not about hurting you, it's about speaking my truth.
Mm.
It's about finally releasing, defending that little girl in me that you tried to break. It's about empowering other victims and survivors. So that I forgave them, and I ask God every day to remove any bitterness, malice, resentment, grudges, hate out of my heart. Do I hurt? Yes. This is going to take a long time not to hurt as bad.
Yeah.
But am I? No. I mean, I used to have a temper now, and
Okay.
so
I-
I am the baby sister, but
Yeah, you the baby
they
sister.
but
I
uh
know. That's all you need to say. You know how to baby.
so right. So forgiveness to me is me not retaliating. I can retaliate. I could go. I know the fuck they live.
Mhm.
That's not going to help anybody. This helps people. If someone else going through this, they could be like, damn, I could make it too. Damn. Okay, I just need a stronger mindset to escape this. It's other girls that are inboxing me right now saying, I live with my abuser. How can I get out? And I'm coaching them on how to get out.
Mhm.
I just don't say that because that's between me and them.
Yeah. It's
That's
not
why I say I want this to be a
yeah.
safe space. So I forgive them. It's just I'm working on, I'm this is healing. Then I'm in therapy and then I paint too. That helps heal me. So I
Yeah.
mean, I believe you're supposed to forgive your abusers, but forgiveness doesn't mean you have access to me. They would never be my children. You're not passing on that bullshit to my kids.
Yeah. I definitely
Yeah.
that. And give me one moment here, screening time down on. All right, so one thing that I definitely admire is that you turned your trauma into purpose and you're out here healing others and helping others. What have you learned about breaking the cycles and how do you make sure like that pain doesn't get passed on?
You passing down pain if you tell your child, oh well, my mom did this to me, so you should be glad. That's
Mm,
how you know. So passing it down looks like if your child is trying, nobody's saying to be with the super gentle parenting bullshit, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
But give your child a space to tell you how they feel and apologize if you know you are wrong. But if you feel that you shouldn't apologize to your child because you pay some fucking bills, you're passing down a curse
mm,
because that's a slavery mindset. That's what the slave master used on the slave. Well, listen, master pay our bills. Master put this roof over our head. Even though master beat the shit out of us,
yeah.
we not gonna challenge master because he do. That's bullshit. You are still a human being.
Mhm,
Children are human beings that have feelings. And so that's one thing I've learned. If you catch yourself saying, "Oh, my mom did worse, so you should be grateful," that's bullshit. My children, I don't even want my children to know about my childhood until they get old enough. I'm not going to use that as an excuse to mistreat them because I'm just mistreating them a little bit better.
yeah. I did
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna be honest, man. My mama gave me that same advice when when my kids were little. It was something was happening. I forgot what the exact situation was. And my son was like, "Oh man, well I feel like," and I was like, "Boy, I don't care what you feel right now." And my mama pulled me to the side like immediately. Was like, "Yo, come here, come talk to me real quick." And I'm like, "What's up?" And she was like, "I know he a child, but give him the space to speak. Like,
Yeah.
make him think that his how he feels or his opinion don't matter." And
Yeah.
kind of had like the kind of old school thing too. Like, hey man, what I say go. And then it was like after that though, once she told me that, and I really looked, and I was like, okay, and I implemented that with both of my children now, and
Hmm.
the relationship is different. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's beautiful.
Now is instead of them like, okay, well, nah, I know they don't tell me everything, but it's like
Hmm.
certain stuff I know they have no problem coming to say, hey, pops, and my children grown to this day and they still come and talk to me, and I still allow them that space now that they're grown. Like, okay, well, you're grown now, speak freely, just but it's definitely I saw a difference in the relationship with my kids after
Well,
that.
I'm proud of you, and I didn't know you. I thought we was the same age.
No, oh no, baby girl,
Oh, when you said you had grown kids, I'm like, oh, okay. I thought you was. Oh, my bad. Well,
yeah,
that's a good thing though. You black, you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
tell.
You know what I'm saying? I go to the gym and eat right and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I look a little young.
Yeah, yeah. I can't tell from here from the thing. I thought you was maybe a couple years older than me.
Yeah,
Hey, I
we
thought
can
you
roll
was.
with that. We can roll with that.
But yeah, and you know what's the thing that the point your mom's made. Shout out to your mom. That's beautiful. We need more of that too.
Definitely.
And she probably learning from some mistakes that she could have possibly made with you too, like how she could, and she's doing it differently with her grandchildren.
But
Um,
I'm always
you
definitely.
will make your child feel like they can't talk to you if you do that too. And so if something really do happen, you really do want to know, they're not gonna come to you. Not you, but just speaking to parents in general. You know what I'm saying? And then they grow up with low self-esteem in their own house, they don't feel heard. So how can they go out into this world and expect to be heard and speak up for themselves? People don't realize that.
That is true. And I can say this for my mom, like when I used to hear some of the stories about people and their mom, like my mom was she was the parent that was like, no, I'm not gonna beat my kids or whatever, So my mom was actually the chill mom. When I hear some of these stories, I'm like, you know what I mean? Man, my mama tried to take me out last night. I'm like, ooh, Jesus. I said, now grandma, pops, that's a different story, but mama was cool. I was like, all right,
Yeah, she chill. She was relaxed.
yeah.
And she
So
probably was happy. That's another thing too. People just be having these kids while they in fucked up spaces in life, and you're already miserable. Then you have children. You take out that shit on your child. Your child ain't got nothing to do with why your ass struggling. It's not your child's fault.
And real quick too, 'cause I got about 5 or 10 minutes left on this recording. I want to ask you about your book before we get out.
Okay.
Um, so what gave you the courage to take your story public? That's the first thing I want to ask you. And please introduce your book also.
Okay, so my book, the name of my book is What Does the Mirror Show Me? Brown Girl World. I published it and self-published it myself. I mean, I published it and wrote it myself. So I get all the royalties. Black owned business
You know what I'm
here.
talking about? You
This
know what I mean?
this is my logo from my company.
Okay.
So the courage to take my story public, I always been outspoken and bold. That's just who I am. I always been transparent. I just never gave a damn. If it's the truth, it shouldn't be hidden
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not perfect. I just am who I am. I am who I say I am. And so, but what really motivated me was my niece's abuse. So I called CPS, I called the police, I outed my family, and I still couldn't get her. And so I feel defeated. And sometimes when I feel defeated, I refuse to be defeated. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna create another outlet to show her that I never gave up on her and to still show her how special she is and to reach her. And so I was hoping that this book would be put in her school or something. I don't know. I'm just real optimistic like that too. And so that's when I wrote it. So it was a letter to her from the little girl in me,
Mm,
because this is what I told myself. So as I'm feeling broken, I'm telling myself this and I'm telling her this at the same time. And so that's what this book is about. The dedication page is a real letter to her, but the book itself, everything it says in the book, that's what I was telling myself. That's what I was telling my niece. And the back of the book is actually a picture, is an illustration of a real picture of the last time I saw her. The picture is on my Instagram. So she know if she see this, that this is still me here.
mm,
Even if they try to keep me from you, I'm still here. I'm still here. And so I just pray that one day I could see her again and I could be in her life again. And so I want her to know that she has somewhere to go. Cause shit, I didn't have nowhere to go. And the adults knew.
yeah,
Plenty of adults knew I had nowhere to go. She has somewhere to go where she don't have to worry about being abused, where she can be protected and loved, cherished, heard, seen, and everything else. So,
that's
and
what's
this book is really, it's for anybody. It can help non-black children, but I wrote it specifically for black girls who were bullied and abused. And it's just teaching black girls how to build themselves up after living in a world that tried to tear them down. It teaches them the important things of life. It's not about, oh, Sarah has an imaginary friend. Now this teaches you real shit. Teach your child real stuff to survive in this world because they need to be prepared when they go out into this world.
yeah, that's definitely true. Real quick, we have about 2 minutes left. Um, what's one thing you would want survivors to know and something you wish that someone told you?
It don't matter how long.
Mm,
Don't look back and wish you should have left this soon or wish you should have did it differently. If you know now, the time is to move now. Don't worry about how long it took for you to move. Your timing is your timing.
that's
But
what's
when you know, that's when you know, and that's when you need to move. That's all that matters. Don't matter how long, it don't matter what happened. You are worthy and you have your own timing.
that's what's up. And I want to real quick also, I want you to give everyone your social media info, let them know how they can reach you, if they want to get a book, anything like that.
Okay, so you can order this book on my website, Janiqua the Genie, Joniqua, the Genie, like Genie from Aladdin. My Instagram is Janiqua the Genie. My Facebook is Genie Janiqua. My TikTok is Genie Janiqua. I go by both. So on Instagram is Janiqua the Genie. On TikTok and Facebook is Genie Janiqua. And you can order my book on my website. You can only buy it on my website, Black owned business. So
Mm,
support a Black owned business.
definitely, definitely. Man, I might order a couple on myself, yo. And
It's
saying,
a beautiful book, and it made some people cry too. Like literally, it made some people cry.
okay, okay. And I got some family in the school system, so I'm gonna see if I can get them to get a couple on too, you know.
That'll be real nice. That'll be a dream come true to have children in school. That's why I really want it to be. I've been emailing elementary schools,
Mhm.
trying to get them to buy bulk orders to because if it's in schools, it would really help Black girls. It would really help them, teaching them how to love themselves for how they naturally are.
So y'all hear that, man? If y'all hear your school counselor, anything, man, that a counselor, period. Definitely get that, man, and help this young lady out, help her get her message out.
Hmm.
I definitely hope you and your niece,
We will.
y'all reconnect soon. You know what I'm saying? So, that's out to that. And real quick before I go, I want to thank you again for taking your time to talk with us. You know what I'm saying? We got Janique with the Genie here, y'all. You know who it is.
And I want to give a shout out to Nina.
Okay.
Nina with let me say her label name. I'm sorry. Give me
Yeah, yeah,
one
real
second.
quick, 'cause I don't want time to run out on you.
Nina from Lyrical Ambience Entertainment
Oh yeah,
Bookings
shout out to
helped me
Nina.
out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yes, freezing. So Nina, thank you, Nina.
All right.